Josh Gordon was once one of the best wide receivers in the NFL from 2012 to 2014 with the Cleveland Browns. But due to all of his suspensions due to his drug use, he wasn't able to show his full NFL potential. He was suspended for both the 2015 and 2016 season, but ended up making his return with the Browns in 2017 at the end of the season, where that Browns team went 0-16. He was on the 2018 Cleveland Browns for a little bit, but was released after coaches and management thought he was under the use of drugs after showing up late to practice. Then he was with the Patriots for a little bit, but really never played in a playoff game with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick due to some more suspensions with them. And then he was picked up by Seattle in 2019 after the Patriots released him, but only played near the end of the season. But here's the thing. What if Josh Gordon was never suspended for all these drug uses, or let's say he stayed sober, even though he did admit he did play high while he was at the games, and looked like a complete beast on the field. So, what if Josh Gordon never had all these troubles? In this new series on Pass the Mic called What If?
I mean, Gordon was absolutely phenomenal in his second year. He showed a lot of talent, his rookie year, and then he just exploded.
I mean, he literally said that he was playing these games while he was actually high and under the influence. And that's just freaking amazing. Like, wow, this guy is this good, and was that stuff. We didn't know that at the time.
In a way, I feel like, they should have maybe dealt with this sooner, but at the time society wasn't as willing and open to hearing about it. About all this kind of stuff, where now, maybe things would have been a little bit different. I'm not saying fully, but it's just, Gordon. If he had never gotten busted, imagine the campaigns he would have put up after that. They would have been very similar, or maybe they would have been a little bit lesser, depending on the quarterback. He would have
been like a Calvin Johnson type player, I would say.
Well, I don't think he would have been extended by the Browns because of the dysfunction, but he would have gone. Who knows? He might have actually ended up in New England. He could have ended up in any other place back then. Like Seattle could have maybe picked him up as a wide receiver. Even though Wilson isn't the same kind of quarterback at that point in time when his free agency would have came up versus where he is now. Imagine who else had Kaepernick at the time? Let's go back a little bit in the Wayback Machine here.
Right,
even the Texans could have done it. The Colts
with Andrew Luck,
yeah, Andrew Luck and the Colts, him, T.Y. Hilton, and I think they might have still had Reggie Wayne around that time. I forget. Maybe Wayne was just gone right around then too. But still, think about it. It's literally just insane.
Incredible. I mean, he would have probably played here.
How big of a contract would he have gotten, especially if he was able to put up the type of numbers, especially with how poor of a situation was around him?
I would have said he would have probably gotten a contract. I'm trying to think of a big receiver.
I'm going back to 2014 and 2015 because I'm assuming they wouldn't have slapped the franchise tag on him.
And I'm trying to think, what would the Browns really have done in that draft? Would they have still gotten the two big busts of I don't even want to say their names.
Justin Gilbert is safe to say.
Yeah, Justin Gilbert and that other guy.
And the other guy. Which everyone thinks
guy.
Baker was going to be, but you were wrong.
Which is calling the other guy, and that other guy got in a lot of trouble too. And
Denver could have used him maybe.
Yeah.
Denver could have. San Diego, Kansas City. That could have been interesting.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Kansas City, and
Kansas
they still
City.
Get Mahomes. And they have him with Tyreek Hill.
And they got. Hill and Kelsey.
They have Watkins too.
They would have not have needed Watkins if they had Gordon.
No.
Imagine that, that offense that they had. I mean, even if Alex Smith still gets traded and they get Mahomes, imagine that. Gordon and Kansas City, and that's just the AFC really, because that was around the year that Buffalo had a really good, decent year, I guess, 9-7. Dallas Cowboys, that was always an interesting one. Philadelphia could have changed a lot of trajectories there.
Maybe just on how Carson Wentz is.
Not even with Wentz yet at that point, I don't think. Green Bay, giving Josh Gordon to them, and then who knows, they may or may not have gotten Devontae Adams. We don't know, but this is the what-if domino effect. And literally you have Detroit Lions. Maybe you pair Matthew Stafford with Gordon, and what happens there?
Stafford, and I think Calvin Johnson was still playing too.
And Minnesota Vikings. Think about this though. Literally there has been a trend since the last decade because of them finishing like every other year. They're either in the playoffs or they're just missing. And next year, I'm on the board that Vikings are going to make the playoffs. I feel like that's the safest bet in Vegas right now. Is that the Vikings are going to make the playoffs, because if you go off the trends, and it's normally after a second or third place finish when they don't make the postseason, that the next year they do. And that is one of the most interesting things, because he would have been dominant. He would have been out of this world, just physical, big, just able to dominate the competition. And, he might have gotten a little bit creaky with age, but he still is very just talented receiver. He's never going to be who he could have been, but he definitely would have been one of the most dominant. I'm not saying he would have ever been the greatest of all time receiver, but he would have been a top 10 all time right now. Kind of like maybe adored, maybe a little bit like Larry Fitz.
Yeah.
There is so much that could have happened with Gordon. It's crazy to think. And who knows, he could have even ended up with the Steelers or Ravens or Bengals.
Any of those teams. I mean, who knows, right? It's a what-if scenario, and he would have just been dominating. But what if, something like he did, he was caught with the substitute? Who knows what would have happened then? Would he have had all those, chances? Let's say it was, a few years down the road or something. If he got pulled over for, having marijuana or something like that. Would he have had, all those chances to get a second chance like he did? How many did he had so many with the Browns, and then we had enough. And then with the Patriots, he got another chance, and then with Seattle, he got another chance. Would he have still had that?
I don't know. Because,
this was all happening when he was just into the league.
If it was a violent offense, no, he wouldn't have. But if it was non-violent, maybe.
These were all drug offenses.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that if it was a violent drug offense, then no, he would not have gotten the same opportunities that he did. That's at least what I'm thinking. But that is, for right now, the What If segment.
That will include this segment of What If. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more videos of What If. And also be sure to follow us on Twitter at pass_the_Mike_ and on Instagram and Facebook at Pass the Mike Sports Talk. We'll see you on our next episode of What If.